What would you do if one simple question could change your life forever? When a homeless man asked Keanu Reeves for just $1, he expected a polite refusal or maybe even silence. But what happened next not only stunned him, it changed his life in ways he never imagined. Stay tuned because this story will leave you questioning the true power of kindness. But first, where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and please complete our 1,000 subscribers for more inspiring stories. The early evening streets of Los Angeles buzzed with the rhythm of life. People hurried along the sidewalks, heads bowed into their phones or rushing to catch their rides. Among them, a homeless man sat on the curb of a bustling street corner, his face weathered by years of hardship. His name was Charlie, though few people ever bothered to ask. His tattered clothes and makeshift cardboard sign, which simply read, "Need help, God bless," told a story of struggles that no one stopped to hear. On this particular day, Charlie felt the weight of the world pressing harder than usual. His stomach growled with hunger, and the few coins in his cup barely amounted to the cost of a single meal. People passed by without so much as a glance, their indifference cutting deeper than the cold evening air. Just as Charlie was about to give up for the day, a man stepped out of a sleek black car parked across the street. He wore a simple black jacket and jeans, his appearance understated yet commanding attention. The man walked with an air of quiet confidence, his head slightly bowed as if lost in thought. Charlie couldn't believe his eyes. He recognized that face immediately. It was Keanu Reeves. The Hollywood star moved unassumingly through the crowd, stopping to greet a street musician with a warm smile and a few words of encouragement. He reached into his pocket and dropped a bill into the musician's open guitar case, then continued on his way, seemingly unaware of the growing whispers around him. Charlie's heart raced. He didn't care about fame or fortune, but this was an opportunity he couldn't ignore. He wasn't looking for a handout from a celebrity. He just needed enough to get through the night. As Keanu passed by, Charlie called out, his voice trembling with a mix of desperation and hope. "Hey, sir, can you give me $1?" Keanu stopped mid-stride and turned toward Charlie. For a moment, their eyes met, and Charlie felt a strange sense of calm wash over him. The actor's expression softened as he approached, crouching down to meet Charlie at eye level. "What's your name?" Keanu asked, his voice gentle but firm. "Charlie?" he replied, clutching his sign nervously. Keanu nodded, glancing at the sign and then back at Charlie. "What do you need the dollar for?" Charlie hesitated. He didn't expect this question, and for a moment, he wondered if Keanu was mocking him. But the genuine curiosity in the actor's eyes convinced him otherwise. I need to eat," Charlie admitted. "It's been a rough day." Keanu smiled faintly and reached into his pocket, pulling out his wallet. But instead of handing over $1, he did something unexpected. He sat down on the curb next to Charlie, ignoring the curious glances and murmurs from passers-by. "You know," Keanu began, $1 might help for now, but what's your plan for tomorrow, or the day after that?" Charlie was taken aback. No one had ever asked him such a question, let alone cared enough to sit beside him and listen. He shrugged, his eyes welling up. "I don't know, I'm just trying to survive." Keanu nodded thoughtfully, then looked around. "Stay here for a moment." He stood up and walked into a nearby coffee shop. Charlie watched in confusion, unsure of what to expect. A few minutes later, Keanu returned, holding 2 steaming cups of coffee and a couple of sandwiches. He handed one to Charlie and sat down beside him again. "Let's eat first, then we'll figure it out." As they shared the impromptu meal, Charlie couldn't help but open up. He spoke of his life before the streets, the series of misfortunes that had led him here, and his dreams of getting back on his feet. Keanu listened intently, never interrupting, his eyes filled with empathy. By the time the coffee cups were empty, the crowd around them had grown. People whispered and took photos from a distance, but Keanu paid them no mind. He was fully present, treating Charlie with the same respect and attention he would give anyone else. When the meal was finished, Keanu stood and offered Charlie a hand. "Come with me," he said. Charlie hesitated. "Where are we going?" Keanu smiled. "To see if we can do more than just survive." With that, they walked off together, leaving the crowd stunned and curious about what had just unfolded. Little did Charlie know, his life was about to change in ways he couldn't have imagined. Charlie followed Keanu Reeves through the busy Los Angeles streets, his mind racing with uncertainty and hope. He had no idea what the actor had in mind, but for the first time in years, someone was looking at him not with pity, but with purpose. Keanu's calm demeanor made Charlie feel at ease, even as curiosity gnawed at him. They stopped outside a modest community center tucked between two larger buildings. Keanu opened the door and motioned for Charlie to follow. Inside, the warm light illuminated walls covered in inspirational posters and photographs of past events. The hum of activity filled the air as volunteers sorted clothing, prepared meals, and spoke with visitors. "Welcome to the Helping Hands Center," Keanu said, his voice steady. "This place has helped a lot of people get back on their feet. I think it can do the same for you." Charlie looked around, overwhelmed by the energy and kindness in the room. "You brought me here. For this?" Keanu nodded. "$1 would have helped you today, but what about tomorrow? You deserve more than just surviving, Charlie. You deserve a chance to rebuild." A woman with a warm smile approached them. "Keanu? Good to see you again." "Hi, Clara," Keanu replied. "This is Charlie. I think he could use some support." Clara extended her hand, which Charlie shook hesitantly. "We'd be happy to help," she said. "Let's start with some fresh clothes and a meal, and then we can talk about what's next." Charlie glanced at Keanu, who gave him an encouraging nod. "Go ahead," he said. "You're in good hands." While Clara led Charlie to the back of the center, Keanu stayed behind, helping the volunteers sort donations and greet new arrivals. Hours passed, but Keanu didn't leave. Instead, he became just another pair of hands in the effort to help others, blending in as if he were part of the regular team. When Charlie returned, he looked like a different man. His hair was neatly combed, and he wore clean clothes that actually fit him. For the first time in years, he felt human again. "I don't know what to say," Charlie admitted, his voice trembling. "You don't have to say anything," Keanu replied with a smile. "Just focus on what's next." Over the next few days, Charlie stayed at the center, meeting with counselors who helped him map out a plan. They connected him with resources for job training and temporary housing. Keanu checked in on him regularly, offering words of encouragement and even sitting down to share meals with him. One afternoon, Charlie found himself sitting across from Keanu at a folding table. "Why are you doing this?" he asked. "I mean, you don't even know me." Keanu leaned back in his chair, his expression thoughtful. "Everyone deserves a chance, Charlie. Life can be unpredictable, and sometimes we all need a little help. I've been lucky in a lot of ways, but that doesn't mean I haven't faced my own struggles. Helping others, it's just the right thing to do." Charlie didn't know how to respond. He had spent so long being ignored by society that this simple act of kindness felt almost surreal. Weeks turned into months, and Charlie began to transform. With the center's help, he found a part-time job at a local cafe, which quickly turned into full-time work. He saved enough money to rent a small studio apartment, and for the first time in years, he had a place to call his own. Keanu continued to check in on him, but he never made a big deal of it. He didn't seek attention or recognition for his actions. To him, helping Charlie was simply about doing what he could for someone in need. One day, Charlie walked into the community center holding a small box. Inside was a handwritten thank you note, a photograph of his new apartment, and a gift card for coffee. He found Keanu sorting donations as usual. "I just wanted to say thank you," Charlie said, "for everything. I wouldn't be here without you." Keanu smiled and shook his head. "You did the hard work, Charlie. I just pointed you in the right direction." As they shook hands, Charlie felt a surge of gratitude and determination. He wasn't just surviving anymore, he was living. And it all started with a single question. Can you give me $1? Years later, Charlie became a volunteer at the same community center that had helped him rebuild his life. Whenever someone new walked through the doors, he welcomed them with the same kindness and encouragement he had once received. And though Keanu Reeves moved on with his busy life, his quiet act of generosity remained a turning point, not just for Charlie, but for everyone who heard the story. It was a reminder that even the smallest actions could create ripples of change. Thank you for watching till the end video. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, don't hesitate to like the video and share it with your friends too. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories.